There's Danny laying on the ground. So this is my sitting area. It had a table in between it, but I took the table out. It's my slide, and I have a piece of board that goes across the middle. It can change this whole thing into a full-size bed, or just a piece of board that I put across the middle, and I can make it into a U-shaped couch. Right now I do have my little dresser there, which gives me some extra drawer space. And I put a little curtain across it. Makes it a little cozy cubby. My cozy cubby. Yeah. Let me show you what else. For those of you who have not seen my RV and ask me all kinds of questions about it. Stay tuned.
Not tomorrow, there's no time to borrow. Today is a good day to live.
Well, here you go. Well, here, that's my front door. I do have this curtain that I like to hang down and stop the glare coming in the window. Sometimes the sun can be pretty strong. But here's my bed. And I'm limited on cabinet space. I lost a lot of cabinet space when I sold my other one, or traded my other 16-footer in for this rig. And then there's my cubby that I showed you at the beginning. But I put my regular mattress from my bed at home in there, on there, which is why it is so high. It actually comes up to almost to my chest. So I do need a step stool to get into the bed. But I love it. I have a topper on there also. And here's my kitchen. I'm a little busy right now because I'm camped and I was cooking, but I don't have a whole lot of counter space, but I do make do. I put a cutting board across my sink, which, there's my cup, which gives me some extra room to work if I'm cutting veggies up. And then I have my cabinets above. The light glare, that's from my light. Let me show you, hold on. And I'm gonna turn off the light, but there's my cabinets above. And I took my microwave out. I do have a cabinet door that I'm going to put on here, and I keep a piece of wood there so that my toaster oven, which is behind there, I have my toaster oven in there because I do not have an oven. I have cabinets below. This is one of the best gadgets. I just love this gadget. I love this gadget. It kind of pulls down, see, and you can keep things in there. You can keep spices in there. You can keep cords and wires, or you can hold it open and put a cookbook in there if you like. It's really a cool gadget. I got that on. And I'm going to show you. I have another one here. This one, when I bring it down, I'll show you. I keep my remote control in there, which I have out right now. Extra cords for my phone. You know, my Apple control. TV stuff. Very nice. I keep another one here up at the end of my bed, which I also have a pen in there in case while I'm in bed and I pad a little pad of paper and I need to write something down while I'm watching TV. I also have a couple of charging cords, or cords I need for my TV or my speakers. You know, miscellaneous stuff you need. Little stuff. This is my top bunk, and I have private stuff behind there, storage. I do have a hanging rod back there that I can hang some things in, like, you know, shorter things, tops, sweaters, things like that. But I also have my paper plates and paper cups I keep in here, my hats, some of my scarves that I hang up there, Danny's hat, scarves, and my hats, things like that I keep up on the top bunk. This is my bottom bunk. All right, now I just put clean sheets on everything down here. But in case somebody spends the night, I have a bottom bunk for one of the kids. It's got a window back there, but I have some reflectors on there. And that's my butter that my canned butter. I can my butter. And I keep my extra towels and a couple extra blankets in the back. That brown cushion is the cushion I usually use to put across in the dinette area in case I want to make it into a bed for one of the kids. But that's my bottom bunk, and kind of close up. I can't get the wide angle. Let's see if I can. That's my bottom bunk. Hi. So one of my viewers, it's a little breezy and there's some traffic out here, but one of my viewers said, Carolyn, why don't you do a video about your vehicle, your towing, and your rig, and tell us more about it. And although they said that they know that I've done one before, well, I have. I'm out here at my son's property. If you've been watching, I have a little spot here that he's made for me to camp, and I'm able to hook up to power here. So anyway, I'll tell you what I have, okay? I have a 2018 Ford Explorer. It has the tow package on it, and it's 3 rows. The last row you only can put little kids in, really. But otherwise it drives 4 because the back seats are buckets. And in fact, I just got new tires. I mentioned that in my video when I was staying at my brother-in-law's. At my nephew's. But anyway, my vehicle, this particular Ford Explorer, has a tow capacity because it has the tow package, which has the 7-way plug and a 3-way plug. And you use a 7-way plug when you have an RV, a travel trailer, to hook up to it. And this is a 7-way plug, okay? And it works your lights, electric brakes, charges your batteries, your house batteries, which are also here on the tongue. So when you first buy your rig, you're gonna have to make sure that you get a hitching system, okay, because your car comes with a receiver that holds your hitch, but you're gonna have to get a hitching system. Now the first system I had was an easy, I think it was called easy weight distribution, easy something, and it had weight distribution bars, which also worked as sway control on the side of it. But I didn't like that. I used that with my other RV, with my other trailer, my 16-footer. All it did was bang and cling and make all kinds of noises. So one day when I was in South Carolina getting ready to leave, one of the bars came off and it bent some of the stuff that holds the bars in place. And so I went to a shop in South Carolina that specialized in hitches, and I was recommended this Anderson hitch, and I love it. Because what happens with this Anderson hitch is, instead of having the bars that I have to put on and off, it has chains. And I don't have to put those chains on, hook them on and adjust them all the time. The only thing I hook on to my vehicle is this plate right here. You see? When I hook the plate up, and these holes right here meet up with the hole underneath this hitch. Right there. Once I put my rig on top of this ball, I put my pin through there. You'll have to raise up the rig, you raise your rig up, you know, with, I have a electric jack. Most rigs do not come with electric jacks. They're jacks you have to buy separately. So keep that in mind. Otherwise, you can have a jack that you crank. It's not bad to crank it up, but I'll tell you what, as much as I use mine, I decided I wanted the power jack. Okay, so you just lift the jack up to the point that the two holes match up, and you can put your pin right through it. And then you would hook your chains up to your car, crisscross your chains and hook them up underneath to your car. And these slots right here. And also hook your wire for your brake system. Here's my wire for my brake system right here. Just hook it right on there. It's not difficult. Most trailers come with one propane tank, but I decided that I wanted two because I'm out in the desert a lot, boondocking, maybe for 2, 3, 4 weeks at a time. And I want to make sure I have enough propane to cook with, or in case it gets cold and I need my heat and I need it for my refrigerator. Propane is, when I'm in the desert boondocking, my rig runs off a lot of propane. I use it for the refrigerator to keep that going, for the hot water heater if I need to have heat if it gets cold at night, and to cook. Okay, most rigs come with one 12-volt battery. Usually, it's a 12-volt deep cycle battery that you have to make sure that you maintain your water. Always check your water. If you don't have one that is acid free, if you don't have an AGM battery, you don't have to worry about checking the water. But when you have a regular 12-volt battery that has you have to check the water in it. Just like you used to check the water in your battery in your car. Well, you got to check the water on your rig. Oh, and by the way, don't forget to check the water in your battery in your car when you're out in the desert and in hot areas, because you can get low on water and then you can't start your car. I have two 6-volt batteries, and I have them wired together so that they will be like having a 12-volt. And what's nice about 6-volt batteries, mine are golf cart batteries. I have the I think they're Duracell. I think they were Duracell. I'd have to take it. I just bought them too in Florida. Anyway, they're two 6-volts. I bought them at the battery place. And the thing about the 6-volt golf cart batteries, when you wire them properly together to make a 12-volt deep cycle, and I do have to watch the water in these, is that the plates in these batteries are larger or bigger, so you get more energy. You're able to store more energy to use. So this has, one battery alone has 220 amp hours. So with two batteries, no, I don't get 440 amp hours. I still get 220 amp hours because I'm making this as a 112-volt. Now, I used to have two 12-volts, and the 12-volts only had 100 amp hours, so they weren't lasting me as long. So because the plates are bigger in these, that's what I'm told, they will last me much longer, and they do. I've had wonderful luck with this. But these batteries only run your 12-volt items in your rig. Okay, my refrigerator is either goes on the battery and propane. It just needs a little battery so the propane kicks off. But all my lights inside are run from the battery, and then the other items need the battery to kick off. But I cannot take and plug my television in and watch TV with these two batteries. In order to do that, you have to have a inverter set up or plug directly into 30 amp power. So I have a 30 amp plug, which is plugged in right now to power. Okay? So back to my car. My vehicle has a 5,000 pound tow capacity. Okay? And when you're checking, check your vehicle, find out in your manual what your tow capacity is. So my vehicle, this particular vehicle, is 5,000 pounds. I had a smaller vehicle that with my smaller RV, the 16-footer, that only had a 3,500 towing capacity. Well, that doesn't work. And even this, realistically, I wish I had the excursion or the expedition, because they're 8 cylinders and then they can tow much more weight. Now the weight that your car can tow is, or your truck can tow, is one figure, and the weight that you can put in your rig is another. So the amount of weight that they tell you that you can put in your rig is about how much weight your axle will support. My axle will support 4,000 pounds. And I have a slide. Sometimes people will tell you if you have a slide, you're going to have a heavier rig. Okay. So my rig is a 2019 KZ Escape bunkhouse. It's a 191 bunkhouse. It's actually 19 and a half feet, but you want to add 2 feet for the nose of the camper. Okay? You want to add 2 feet for that. So I usually say when I'm going somewhere, they ask you how big your rig is, I usually say 21 feet. Now the one thing about this particular rig that I didn't know until after I'd already purchased it, and it's probably my own fault. So check everything out. There's things you'll miss when you make a purchase. And there's things I missed on the first one, and there's things I missed on the second, and hopefully the third time I'll get it totally right and I won't have any issues. When I have my vehicle hooked up to my rig, if my vehicle is not perfectly straight, I cannot open my hatchback because the position of my jack is so close, there's not much room for my hatch to go up. With my other rig, I didn't have that problem. The jack was not that close to the coupling, that close to the front of where the ball goes onto the coupling. I had much more room. So this is shorter. Make sure you can, if you're using a vehicle, a car, you can open your hatch and you don't have to unhook to open your hatch. I can do it, but it's just barely skims to get up. What I do like is, some people don't like this, but I do like this. I like having a window by my bed because I want to be able to make sure that nobody is bothering my car. I want to be able to look out my window. And so there's my bed, and I can look out, even though I have pillows on there for my privacy, because when the light's on, you can see in. Yes, you can. Remember that. When you have your light on in your rig, you can see in. People can see you, so don't be walking around naked. Oh, well, you can if you want, but if you don't want people to see you, you don't want to be walking around naked. So I have a window there, and when I'm in bed, I can see, if I have this window open, I can definitely see if someone's bothering my vehicle. I also usually put, like, this here is a solar light stream. So now that it's starting to get dark out, I have it on light up, and so the front of my rig, this little section here, will be lit up all night, and I can look out the window and I can see. I am in a gated area. This piece of property is gated. so vehicles cannot get in here. But all right, so too many so's, right? I have a cubby here, a door here. It's smaller, it's just a lock, but on the other side I have a bigger door, and it goes straight through all the way across. Inside my rig, if I didn't have my own personal mattress up there, inside my rig, I would be able to lift up my bed and access that storage there. But because my mattress is so big and heavy, it's 75 pounds at least, I cannot do that. But I have a small window here for my bedroom, which I like because I can see when I'm sleeping. I can see out. And on the other side I have another window which is bigger, and it's an emergency window. So if I couldn't get to the door, I could get out that window. It pops out. My stairs just fold up and fold underneath. My kitchen window. And this is also an emergency window over the bottom bunk. I would love to have had a window on the top bunk, just for the light and the breezes if you were to open it. I have stereo speakers which I can also hook up to my Bluetooth that come outside, and here is my canopy. Now, I don't have it all the way open right now because it had gotten windy, and so I didn't want it to take my canopy away. My canopy does have controls though that I can turn it on from the outside if I choose to, and they're right there. But I don't use them. I can take the canopy in and out with that, and I also can turn on my LED lights which go along the top, right along here. I have really nice aluminum wheels, and there are 4 stabilizer jacks on one in each corner. Now, most of these rigs do not come with a receiver on the back, so it cost me almost $500 to have a receiver put on the back. It's not attached to the Manson bar. I call this a Manson bar. If you remember the movie star when she got decapitated by a truck because she hit into the Manson bar, I guess that's why they named it after her. This bumper bar here. This here bar you can keep a lot of things in. This bar you can keep a lot of things in. Right now I'm missing the cap off of this side. It always wants to come out, but I got a piece. That's a bag from some firewood. I just do that just to keep the bees out of there, and the wasps. That doesn't mean that they're not in there. But you can put your fishing poles. Some men put their fishing poles in there, but most people put the hose, their sewer hose, through there so that they do not have to put it underneath their house in the basement. We call that the cubby hole, the basement. You don't want to put that poopy thing in there, you know. I mean, even though you rinse it out. So here is, I had to get an extension, a little extender here, and then put this on the extender. I have all my locks and everything's locked on there. And then, because otherwise it would have interfered with my spare tire, and it would the spare tire would be bouncing on there. So I chose to get the extender, and I put it on that way. If I didn't have that extender, which lowers it about 3 or 4 inches, then the tire would interfere with the cargo rack. I like this cargo rack. I got this cargo rack at Harbor Freight, and I love it. Ladies and gentlemen, it's about weight. Remember, I can only have 4,000 pounds in this RV. I call it an RV, even though some people call it a tag along, a pull along, or a travel trailer. But I can only have 4,000 pounds in Shooting Star. Right now, there is actually not much in here. This is actually a cooler. Hold on. It says, it's used to say Miller Lite. Let's see if I can get it off. I got it kind of tied, but it is a cooler. See, it opens up. Oops, it opens up. It's a cooler. And right now, the only thing I got in there is my fish. You know that fish? Remember that singing fish that says, "Take me to the river. Da 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 da." You know that one. Okay, so because I boondock a lot, this has been like 3 of the things I like the most. This is 5 gallons, it's empty. This is 6 gallons, and this is 6 gallons. And I bungee cord them on there. And so there's really no weight on here right now, hardly at all. Because even this doesn't weigh that much, it's very light. But I have it bungee corded in so it doesn't go flopping out or whatever. Okay, I usually have a little table set up outside my camper, and I put this blue one on there because it has a spout, and I could put a bucket underneath that, and I use that to wash dishes in. Yes, I have a sink, but when I'm boondocking, I don't want to use up all my water in my tank. That's flushing water. So I will use water in here. It's only 25 cents, 29 cents a gallon at Walmart. I carry extra water in these 2 gray tanks, and they are 6 gallons each, which is 12 extra gallons with a spout that I can fill up my RV with. So I wait until, remember, it's about weight. Water is 8.32 pounds a gallon. So that's 170 pounds in my rig if I fill up my water. I don't do that. I don't travel with my tank filled. Here is my freshwater tank fill where I put water in from my tanks just to fill my tank. This is my hot water tank. Okay. In my hot water tank, there's this thing called an anal rod, which is down here. It's all rusty. Gets all rusty. But I don't use a lot of hot water. I will only turn on my hot water and use. Okay, so when I was talking about water, so what I do is I wait until, if I'm going to go dry camping out in the desert or out in the boonies or in the mountains or just out in the field somewhere, boondocking, I wait until I get to where I'm going, and then, and then I fill up my tank, and then I fill up my extra tanks if I plan on being there for a while, and I don't want to have to keep coming back to town for water. So here is my connector for water. This one says city water connection. So that's when you are going to hook up at an RV park. Okay? When you hook up with the water and fill your tank, you then have to use your water pump inside, and that's using power. When you use your water pump, you're using power from your battery. Remember that. So I don't leave it on all the time. I just turn it on when I need it. And that water pump also flushes water into your toilet. Okay, but when you're using city water, and or as they call it, when you're connected to water at an RV park or at home, if you're in your backyard, when you're connected right to the hose, you don't have to use that water pump power. And right below there is the dump. Okay, one of those is gray and one of those is black. And the black holds the poop, and the gray holds the dishwater and the shower. And I do call my rig my house, okay? And I have a nice window there. But remember, like I said, when the light's on, you can see inside. Yes, you can. Here's my other storage. And it goes all the way through. So I have not only the lock, but then I have this here. And you don't want to overload this storage bin up here, because then all that weight is going to go on the tongue. Okay? So here's the other window that's by my bed. I have a reflector underneath there. Oh, and I have my RVRebel Girl sticker there. Alright, now here is the thing. Here is every camper has it, every trailer has it. It's the particulars. It tells you how much air to put in your tires, etc., etc., etc. Okay? It also will tell you that you have a 4,000 pound, whoops, right there, 4,000 pound weight limit. Okay? And it usually tells you what the dry weight is of your rig. So dry weight means that's how much your camper weighed before you put anything in it. Okay? Now, it's how much it weighed when you bought it. Before you put anything in there, period. Not even a towel or toilet paper. As you get it, when you buy it, that's how much it weighs. And then it tells you can only have, so if this particular this particular trailer dry weight was 3,200 pounds. So that only means I can put 800 pounds in here to equal 4,000 pounds. And if my water if I fill it with water, that's 170 pounds. That leaves me only 600 pounds that I can put in there. Well, think about this. Everything adds up. So it's unbelievable how quick it adds up. Now I added a propane tank. That's probably 25, 30 pounds. And I added an extra battery. That's another 25, 30 pounds. And then I have another battery inside my camper. I'll tell you about that in a minute. And then my mattress is almost 100 pounds before you know it. And then I haven't even put my pots and pans in there yet, or my clothes. So that's why I don't carry water. But I carry a little generator. My other generator was 125 pounds. So now I've gone back to carrying my original little generator, which is a Predator 2000. And it's just as good as the Honda, but cheaper. I spent, not that it's cheap, less expensive. I spent less on that. I only spent $400 on that generator, and it's just as quiet. And it has an inverter on there, but I can't plug my 30 amp cord in there. I have to use a plug that knocks it down to 20. Okay, so it's a regular grounded plug. I use that and it knocks down the 30 amp plug down to 20. Yeah. So I carry 2 of those because whenever you hook up maybe to somebody's house, they may not have a 30 amp hookup. So keep in mind, when you're hooking up to a 20 amp, you cannot run your air conditioner. Well, you can run your air conditioner, but you shouldn't be running when you're doing it at a house. But not, my generator won't run my air. But there is a feature that some of the RV companies are putting on the air conditioning systems, and it's called Easy Start. The Easy Start or the Soft Start, that will allow you to run your air conditioning off of the 2000 Honda or the 2000 Predator. Because what it does is it lessens the amount of power that the system needs to start up the air conditioning. It's getting breezy, it's getting dark out. If it wasn't so windy, I would have a fire, but it's a little windy. And so I do have to carry some gasoline with me, which I put in my car. I don't really like to carry it, but I carry it in my generator. Right now my generator is inside. Oh no, it's underneath my rig, but when I carry it, I have the small one, I carry it inside, and that generator is 50 pounds. Yeah, 50 pounds. So also what I have is, it's something you might want to consider. So if you're boondocking and you don't have a generator, or you use solar. I use solar so that I don't have to always use my generator and use gasoline and have the noise. So I charge my battery during the day with solar, and then this way during the day I don't have to worry about certain things. But I also have an inverter on there. Now, right now I burnt out my inverter, so I have to go buy a new inverter. I wasn't paying attention when I was hooking it up the other day. But I keep a battery. I have a 12-volt battery inside my rig, and what I do with that 12-volt battery is I attach my solar panel to the battery and leave my solar panel out in the sun, and it keeps that battery charged. And at nighttime, and so I don't have to run my generator and make a lot of noise for people who are around me, at nighttime I will have my TV plugged into the inverter. I attach my inverter, plug my TV into the inverter, and I can watch television. Yeah, but that's extra weight because it's an extra 12-volt deep cycle battery that I carry. Now when I charge that battery, I make sure that my door is open and we're not inside the camper, because they tell you that you should always have it vented if you're going to charge a battery that has acid, an acid battery, which is what I have. It's not an AGM battery. I also so I have 80 watts of solar that I use to charge that battery, and then I have 220 watts of solar I use to charge my two 6-volt batteries, and I use those during the day when it's sunny. But some days it's rainy, and what do you do when it's raining and you're parked out in the middle of nowhere? Okay, sure, you can hook it back up to your car and charge your battery by running your car and using your gasoline, but you can't leave the car on all night to charge those batteries. So you want to make sure your batteries are charged so your refrigerator stays on, and so that if you need hot water, if you need to run your water pump, all those little things, your lights, all that stuff run off of the battery. I carry a lot of solar lights. I have the Lucy lights that you can buy at any Walmart, or you can order them on Amazon. They're little solar lights. You can leave them out in the sun all day, and then at night just blow them up, and they're like a little light lantern, and you can hang them outside, or you can hang them in your house. I also have battery operated lights, like Christmas lights, and I keep those on all year round because I love my campsite to be lit up. I do. So yeah, so then you have to look at your combined weight of your two vehicles together. And there are plenty of scales at the truck stops, okay? If you want to know how much weight you have in your rig, go to a truck stop at a Love's gas station along the interstate, and you can pay to weigh your rig, okay? When you do weigh it, you will pull, there's usually two scales, a front one and a back one, and the best way to get the true weight of your trailer is to unhitch it. Remember, the combined weight, you have to include the weight that's inside your car also when you're looking at combined weight. All right? So it's like combined weight of the two together, it's like 10,000, I can't remember off the top of my head, 10,100 and something pounds. So if I'm on a scale and I have both vehicles there, that is the most that I can weigh. But remember, the 4,000 pounds is about the axle weight on your axle. And You know, I've had people say that you can go a little bit over. I don't know. I guess maybe you can, but that's something you do at your own risk. So I hope that was very informative for you. Some of the things that you want to do when you're looking for your RV, and if you're going to get a trailer, is get inside the shower. Check the walls. Make sure the walls are made of material that you don't have to worry about the water rotting them out. Make sure you fit in the shower and you're comfortable, that it's big enough for you or your husband or your girlfriend, whoever, you know, your significant other. And check those things out. You know, how close is it to the toilet? Look for closet space. I had no closet space in here. I put some rods up in my bathroom. I made my bathroom into a closet. And I put a rod up in the top bunk. So it's getting dark. Time for me to go inside and make me, I look really tan, don't I, in this dark? Time for me to go inside and make me a salad and watch some TV, but I'm lucky to have power. So yeah, remember. And the other thing I gave up on my other one that I had on my other camper and I don't have on this one is an outdoor shower. Oh, I miss it so much because I used to give my dog Danny a bath with that outdoor shower. It's really nice, and you can wash your hair out here and not have to worry about filling up your gray tank because the water just goes on the ground. Yes. And whenever I use, I try to use I use Dawn Blue because Dawn Blue is economic, or not economic. It's you know, it's environmentally friendly. So always watch what you put into the environment, and don't dump your tanks, your dirty tanks, out in the deserts. No, 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 that's criminal. You're not supposed to do that. Remember, pack it in, pack it out, bring your garbage with you. I carry a little metal garbage can that I can put my stuff in with a lid that closes really tight. So if I have anything that might smell, that it doesn't, you know, and then I take it to the trash. Also, you can burn trash. So make sure you burn the right stuff, not plastics or anything like that. Time to go in. It's getting dark. You can barely see me. Let's see what the moon looks like. There it is. I suppose it looked darker sitting where I was at. I don't know, maybe because the location, but there it is. There's the moon. It's not a full one. Nice breezy trees. What you doing, Danny? Huh? You looking out the door? Are you looking out the curtain? Huh? What are you doing? I have not given her permission to come out.
And I really wanna know if I will ever figure out where the road goes. Even if I'm falling down, I will keep on searching for my highs. You can say I lost my mind, I will keep on holding my head high. Even if the sky is falling down.